I want you to have your blue sheet. By the way, I want you to have your blue sheet side by side. Okay?
Are you recording this?
I am recording. I think today's lesson makes it like all make sense a little bit more. I think for you guys. All right, let's look at what it says. Your statement says soccer players are athletes.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so based on this statement, Sam, what is it about?
Soccer players.
Soccer players. So that is going to be my hypothesis. I want you to write the letter P on top of that.
Why can't I put H on top of it?
Okay, so someone is actually doing that. I forget. They showed me their homework and they had H and C. I'm okay with that. But that means that you have to also do that for your other statements. Like not H, not C. Like you would have to, because I'm going to always do P and Q. Because that's what Geometry World does. So if you want to change it, you can, but you got to change these too. So you're not confused.
You got me confused.
Well, then just keep your P's and your Q's.
Okay.
Your athletes are your conclusion. So when it tells you, you guys can just cross through this true false. We're not doing that.
Oh, true.
All right, when it says to create an if-then statement, that means I'm going to use the same sentence and I'm going to plug in the words if and the words then. So I'll start it with if, and I'm going to use she. You can use he if you want. If she is a soccer player, then what?
Then she's an athlete.
Then she is an athlete.
I'm a student athlete. But Diana, I'm not talking.
So now that's my conditional statement.
What's up, bro?
Okay, that's my conditional statement. My P is going to be she is a soccer player. My Q is going to be she is an athlete. Brian, we just started, so turn to example 3. We're doing the second part of thing 1. Okay, and take out your blue sheet too. All right, take a look at your blue cheat sheet. What are the symbols for Converse? Huh?
A negative. Oh, no, negate the hypothesis.
What did you say? Again? Q to the P. Okay, how are you guys so confused on that? Were you looking at your symbols?
No.
Like somewhere Converse.
Look at your symbols.
Oh, Converse. I thought you said inverse.
No, I said Converse.
Oh.
Okay, so that means I'm going to flip my statements. So I'm going to have, if she is an athlete, if she is a soccer player.
Wait, that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, Diana. Then she
Because what if she's like a basketball player?
Right. So the true false that I just told you guys to take out, you don't have to do that anymore. But this statement would be false. And Diana just said because she could be a basketball player, she could be a tennis player. Okay, so we're not doing the true statements right now, but if we were, we would circle false for that because every athlete is not going to be a soccer player. The sentence is right because we did the converse, but it's not true.
It's not.
You guys don't have to worry about what's true and what's false when it comes to this. You will eventually when we do our laws, but not.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Move on for me.
Wait, it's probably like 1.5 hours.
We're gonna finish. All right, your inverse. It's your symbols. What does your inverse say?
Inverse
Not-
is if she's not an athlete.
No symbols. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, you're giving the answer. Our symbols are not P, they're not Q. Okay, so Diana, what's my sentence?
If she's not a soccer player,
Yep.
then she's not an athlete.
Good. If she is
Fire.
not a soccer player. Did you guys watch the World Cup this summer?
Yes.
No.
But Brazil should.
It was amazing.
I mean, wait, what? No, that's the other one.
It was FIFA, right?
No, this the other club.
She's not She's lighter.
She's not a half.
Thank you.
Yo, Diana, what you guys playing Saturday? Huh?
Any questions on
No, I said,
inverse?
who you guys playing?
Chris, stay with me.
Huh?
Stay with me.
Oh, okay. How much money you got for that?
You know you're being recorded,
There you go.
and people have to listen to this if they miss this.
You
All
know,
right, my contrapositive, my symbols are if not Q, then not P. Guys, this question is very similar to your test. You will see it again. It's important that you know what your symbols are and that you write them correctly.
Wait, is this the only class you record?
Most of the time, yeah.
and
The
that
first
really-
period
yeah.
is my first time teaching it, so I may forget something. I could do third period,
Turn me
but
to the streets. Oh,
stop. All right. Contrapositive, my sentence is going to be,
if she's not an athlete,
if she is not an athlete.
she's not a soccer player. But that's not true. You
If she is not an athlete. And she is not something.
This class is stupid.
Huh?
You said it, not me. Any questions on example 3A?
I'm not weird. You're weird.
Chris, can you pull back one so you're so close to my speaker? Hi.
What's that, Danny?
Brian, can you show them where we are in the package? All right, let's take a look at the second problem. It's already in its then statement.
Oh, so
Okay.
we're talking about mathematics.
So our statement says, if the measure of angle A is 99 degrees, then the angle A is an obtuse angle. So my hypothesis is going to be
And
if the measure of angle A is 99 degrees, and my conclusion is going to be that angle A is an obtuse angle. I want you guys to always write your P's and Q's, because then it's just so much easier when you go through your other
Ooh,
statements.
I got it. If
All right, so once again, we don't need our statements here.
are we ever gonna need these?
Yes, well, not for this. When we do our laws, you will.
yes.
All right, my converse. My converse is Q to P. Brian, what is my sentence going to say? What comes first?
If angle A.
Are you Bryant?
My bad.
Hold on.
Angle A is
Good. Good. If angle A is an obtuse angle, then the measure of angle A, that's what that means if we have an N in front of the angle sign. The measure of angle A equals to 99 degrees.
Oh, is that what the M stands for?
Yes, the M is measure.
Okay, show it to me.
I'm going to English.
Yeah, show it.
Guys. Okay, my inverse. For inverse, what are my symbols again? Look at your
Oh,
key.
not Q, not P, not Q.
Not P to not Q. All right, so Chris, what's my sentence?
Oh shit.
Watch your mouth.
My bad. My bad. If
If the measure of angle A
if the measure I don't know.
if the measure of angle A
If the measure angle A is not.
is not, and you guys can write that out, I like to just put a line through the equal sign so it means that it doesn't equal that. So if the measure of angle A does not equal 99 degrees, then what?
Then it's not an obtuse angle.
Then angle A is not an obtuse angle. As part of geometry is also knowing how to speak geometry, and we'll get better at that as the year goes on. But that measure of angle, whatever, is going to be a big part of it. Angle A is not an obtuse. All right, Sam, the last one's yours. Contrapositive. What are my symbols?
If not Q,
Good. Okay, so what's the first part? If not Q, what do I write? Measure of angle A. Perfect. Then the measure of angle A does not equal 99 degrees. When you guys do this, please take your time and please do it step by step. If you rush and you get your symbols messed up, then the whole sentence is messed up.
Are we always going to have that cheese?
All right, any questions here? All right, so let's look at the last part of this page. Example number 4 says to rewrite the definition of right angles as a biconditional statement. I actually forgot to write in this definition for you, so I'm going to write it up here. The definition of right angles, let's see here. If an angle has a measure of 90 degrees, then you don't have to write it on your paper now. Now my board is.
Your board is good.
Yep, hold on a second, guys. Alright, so if an angle has a measure of 90 degrees, then it is a right angle. Okay, so what you guys have to think about is when it says biconditional, look at your blue sheet. What is that word that I like to write as IFF? If and only if, okay? So that's how we know what our biconditional is. So everyone pay attention to this. When we do a biconditional statement, we need if and only if, but we don't need the word if, and we don't need then. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this, and in the middle we're going to put if and only if. So here's my definition. Write this down. An angle has a measure of 90 degrees if and only if, that's what makes it a biconditional statement, if and only if it is a right angle. You can write the word angle out. I like to just do my symbols. Okay, so what's important there are the words if and only if. That's what we think about when we have a biconditional statement. Any questions on number 4? All right, let's look at number 5. For this one, it says decide whether each statement about the diagram is true. Explain your answers and definitions you have learned. All right, so letter A says that segment, or some arrows on that line AC, and they give us this symbol. What does this symbol mean? No, touch with P. We talked about it briefly last close. PER, it's a long word. Perpendicular. Okay? That's what that means. So it says line AC is perpendicular to BC. In order for it to be perpendicular, it needs to create a right angle. So there's line AC. There's line BC. Are they perpendicular? Do they create a right angle? Yes. How do we know? Okay, this little box here, this little square, tells me that it's a right angle. So my answer is going to be yes. And the way that I know is because the two angles, they form, a right angle. Okay, that's how we know. Okay, so now part B says angle ACD. So here, this angle, the blue angle, and DCB. So from D, C, and B, it says that those two angles are complementary. What does it mean if something is complementary? Two angles that add up to what? 90 degrees. We know that because some of us studied that last minute. This is where you have to know your vocabulary, okay? So they're saying that these two angles add up to 90. Is that true? Yes, we still know that because those two angles form a right angle. So we're going to write yes. They are complementary. It's basically the same answer. So we form a right answer. A right angle. All right, letter C says that CD bisects this whole angle. So here's CD. Is it bisecting this angle ACB? Bisecting means that this will be 45 and this guy will be 45. Do we know that's true? We don't know that's true, okay? Because all we know is that those two angles add up to 90 degrees. One could be 80, the other could be 10. Okay, we don't know for sure that it is bisecting, so we're going to write no. The reason is because let's just say both angles are not equal to 45. Sorry, both angles are not 45 degrees. We could solve it if they gave us 2x and they gave us x. But I'm thinking it could be 60 and 30, or it could be 70 and 20. It could be anything. We don't know that each one is 45. All right, any questions on number 5? All right, let's finish up. Let's do number 6. All right, example 6 is saying that they gave us some statements. They gave me statement S, statement J, and statement T. What I want you guys to write on your blue sheet, because you probably need to know this, we have two symbols here. What do these symbols mean? Who remembers from our notes?
Up and down.
Nope. And or. Which one is and? It's the one on top. Okay? The reason why I think about that is I think about a capital A that we would cross through. Okay? Which is we don't have the line through it. So then the bottom one that looks like a B is going to be or. Write that on your blue sheet because you need to know that. Add that to your cheat sheet. Stop. All right, letter A, we have S, we have our and symbol, we have J. What is my statement for S? What does that stand for? What does it stand for? Okay, write this down. We will win the soccer game. All right, my symbol tells me to do what? And or. And. What's the second part of my statement? What's J?
We will get ice cream after the game.
We will get ice cream after the game. I promise you the same problem will be on your test. Very similar. You cannot just write down your symbol so that you're going to skip the rest of it. You guys can take the extra time and write out your full sentence. All right, let's look at letter B. I have S, I have a symbol, and I have T. What does that symbol tell me? This is an or. We all agree with Diana? You should. So Diana, what's my statement here? It has S or T. What does S stand for? We will win the soccer game. Okay. What's next? And or?
Or we will.
Are you Diana?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Or.
Okay, or. And what's your next statement?
And then we will play, we will score goals.
Okay, so we will win the soccer game, or we will score 4 goals. Good. All right, Jackie, the last one is yours. Okay, it's a little bit trickier because I now have 2 symbols. I have or, and then I have and. So how do I start this sentence, Jackie? What's my S?
We will win the soccer game.
So we will win the soccer game. And what's my symbol?
Or
Okay.
we will score 4 goals.
Okay, so T is, yep, so we will win the soccer game, or we will score 4 goals. We'll score 4 goals. Okay, what's the last part?
And we will get ice cream after the game.
Good. And we will get ice cream. After the game. Not so bad? Does it make sense what these symbols are for, your conditional statement symbols? Okay, so now you guys have about 6 minutes before lunch. You can start your homework, which I highly recommend, or you can start your add-ons or finish your add-ons. Okay, this is what we're doing for the rest of the time when you get back to lunch. So make sure you use this time wisely, and you're not just sitting there doing nothing. You can ask me for help while I'm here. And we all know, what's the likelihood of you guys doing homework over the weekend? Slim to none. You guys are probably doing it like Sunday night, right? I'd rather you do it now while it's fresh in your brain.